Welcome back to the Swedish residence in Tokyo and our series Did You Know It's Swedish? Today I'm very happy to be joined by Linus Jonsson, President of EF Japan. Education First. Education First in Japan, what do you do?
EF is an international Swedish company, or an international company with very strong Swedish roots. In Japan, we do language, travel, cultural exchange and academic programs.
How many Japanese take part in your training programs?
If we take a perspective of since we were founded here in 1972, almost 50 years ago, we have sent almost 500,000 Japanese abroad.
Fascinating. So, for a person in Japan today, where do I find EF? Do you have offices, or do I need to check on the web page to find you, or where are you present?
We are present all over Japan. We have 7 offices. Main office in Tokyo, where we also have a Japanese school for foreigners to learn Japanese. But then we have sales and marketing offices all the way from Sapporo down to Fukuoka.
I find it a bit intriguing. It's a small country in the northern parts of Europe, where both you and I come from, and we speak Swedish, and then you are working on teaching not Swedish but English. So what's the thinking behind the Swedish international company that is telling young people all over the world to learn English?
It's an interesting question, and thank you for asking this question, because perhaps it would be more natural for such a company to originate from the US or UK perhaps. But I think if we take an historical perspective, EF was founded 1965, more than 50 years ago. Sweden, as a relatively small country or small population with a big need of exporting goods, we need to communicate in English. So our founders saw a need to bring Swedish high school students to learn English. And then when you think about it, if you're a native speaker, then you don't have the perspective of how to acquire a second language, right? But if you are Swedish, speaking a different language originally, then you can take that perspective, which has shaped the way we form our programs, how we define our programs to be more focused on active learning, communication, for example.
Olympics is coming up, and we are so much looking forward to Tokyo Olympics this summer. EF, you are a sponsor of the Olympics, but perhaps a bit different than many other big sponsors. What will you do during the Tokyo Olympics this summer?
Exactly. We are very proud to be the official language partner with the Tokyo Olympics. So we work hard on providing Olympic volunteers and staff with primarily English and Japanese language training.
Aha, so the people who will actually run the 100-meter finals will perhaps be led to the starting blocks by an EF-educated translator.
Exactly, exactly, yes.
Wonderful. Have you been involved in the preparations of the Olympics yourself in any way?
You know what, I was very fortunate and honored to run with the torch, actually.
I would love to see one of those torches.
I actually have it here.
Ah, look at that. Tokyo 2020, that is now Tokyo 2021.
Exactly.
Can I take a look? So you were running with this, where about?
So I was running in a place called Hyuga outside Miyazaki along the coastline last Sunday. Blue sky, sunshine, 20 degrees, 300 meters, but I tell you, every meter was the best in my life.
You should have it. Languages is the tool we all need. 7 billion people on the planet, so many 100 different countries. Japan is a big one, Sweden is a smaller one, but still, nevertheless, it all boils down to individual meetings, be it politics, business, or individual relations. And here I think EF has discovered for a long time that we need that common tool. We need a language, and you are supporting our English language skills. And I'm happy to say that I was myself an exchange student when I was a mid-teenager, and I think that was probably the beginning why I'm doing what I'm doing today. So Linus-san, thank you so much for visiting us today, and good luck to EF, and thanks to EF being a part of Team Sweden here in Japan. And now you know, there is so much more Swedishness in your life, and perhaps it's not Swedish you're learning English, but you're learning it through a Swedish company, EF.